Hello and welcome, people of YouTubes, to a game of chess. Just a normal, everyday game of chess. And also an update video, because there's been some time since I have done anything of the sort. Game is pre-recorded, so you're just going to watch me lose at 5-dimensional chess with multiverse travel, because, you know, I'm nowhere near good at this enough of this game. Even the base game of chess does at least do a proper let's play of it to a reasonable standard. So, I've not been doing a lot of videos for a while. I have had various distractions going on. I apologise for that, and I'm hoping to actually start things back up again in the next few days or so. On Fridays, we will be resuming the Tiles of Confusion stuff and things. Also, first bit of time travel. Maybe. Nope, I decided not to do that then. I can't remember. I really recorded this about 20 minutes ago. Oh boy. But yeah, Tiles of Confusion will be restarting on Friday, usual time, and we'll see how it goes. Again, I've adjusted the point scoring and mentioned this in the Discord if you're interested in that sort of thing. But basically, the points are going to ramp up in July, same as they kind of did this year as well. But again, not something you need to worry about if you're not at all interested in Mahjong, which is perfectly fine if you aren't. So, dun. Other projects. I've been basically going through a number of my old discs and things, and what I was actually hunting for was somebody had requested on one of my earlier RM2K videos some links to certain games I'd played. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It might have been the chain game that was requested, which I was able to find online, and I found quite a lot of my old stuff as well. So I've actually been reinstalling RM2K, and I have begin the time travel. And now, if you've not played this game before, now we have two timelines to try and win on. It's really weird. So the idea of 5D chess, and I've realised I've gone distracted, which is part of the reason I recorded this ahead of time, is that if you're checkmated on any of the boards, you lose. But you have the ability to make additional boards and transfer pieces between timelines. Because shenanigans, there are various intricacies to this, but basically make queens ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, I'm actually thinking about possibly doing some more RM2K projects, or at the very least recording some, because while I've done the Way, and the Way is, as I've mentioned, probably the epitome of what I consider an RM2K game to be, there are certainly lots of other ones. Free the Hard Way, Love and War, which, if nothing else, has the advantage of being mostly voice acted, and voice acted reasonably well. Love and War I probably want to be doing, in all honesty, if I'm going to do one. But there's also some other games as well, including some stuff that actually happened after I kind of left the community in a lot of ways, or at least stopped paying attention to it, that might still be interesting to do. And also, I could go beyond RM2K, but RM2K will always have a special place in my heart because it's what I learned RM2K, and while I didn't do an awful lot with it, as people are aware, temporal the RPG, it is a nice little engine, and there are some genuine gems on there if you want to go digging, and I feel half of the time that, you know, they're not appreciated enough. And certainly the more modern RPG makers, although admitting they are really pricey, also have some good games. I like the 8-bit style of RPG, and, you know, that is what I'm probably going to end up focusing on in some way, shape, or form. Speaking of RPGs, I'm going to be continuing... see, even more shenanigans. That is a massively inverted new timeline there, where the Queen has now joined us on this board. Oh, also, I have no idea what the Unicorn and Dragons do. No idea whatsoever. I know there's something to do with time travel, but I haven't actually worked that out yet in actual game. Those are the two pieces just below the Queen and the Pawn on that board. But yeah, we're going to be continuing Persona 4. I've actually got a few of those episodes already recorded. I just need to actually get around to editing out the combats a little bit, so they're a bit nicer to watch and, you know, nicer to watch through. But as for some non-RPG style games, non-Mahjong related content, a Mr. Tarquin, who is long-time friend of the channel, gifted me Doom 64, which I've never played, because I never owned a Nintendo 64. I never owned a Nintendo system full stop until the Wii. And yeah, I'm going to play through that blind, which should hopefully be fun. More blood, more 50 bullet running, more blood, and of course, blood! But yeah, look forward to that coming at some point. I'm also likely to rework... Oh, even more timelines beginning up now. This is a bit of a mad game, gotta be honest. I would really love to play this against somebody as well, so maybe this will be a Let's Play at some stage. I don't know who else owns it. And this is me still trying to work out what the hell the dragon and the unicorn pieces do. Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I am planning on doing a few more random nonsense streams, but they will be random nonsense. I'm probably not going to do any more Ni no Kuni 2, but hey, checkmate. Across a couple of boards. If you actually click the red buttons, it will show you how you have checkmated. I can send that queen back in time to go and kill pieces, because that's something you can do, and if you checkmate on any board, you win the game. There are also a few random variations which really don't make sense. I don't know if I just misplaced this, but this doesn't seem like it's possible to win from black, because I've already lost. Reason being, that piece can go back in time and kill me at the start of the game. the trouble with 5-dimensional chess with time travel elements. Also, some of these scenarios I really like. So this is basically pawns versus kings. I genuinely have to buy this for somebody just so I can have an opponent, because honestly, it's maddening on several levels, and I lose the AI an awful lot more than I feel I should. I'm not the best of chess players, but I'm not exactly playing a difficult AI apparently. That being said, I have no idea how relatively good the AI is. Okay, well, I've been rambling, and if I continue, I will ramble some more. So I am going to just enjoy this game, which I'm fairly certain I lose, but hey, this is me trying to work out how I'm not going to die to a pawn randomly time traveling on me, and is it worth doing, you know, some multiverse hopping? Or just go and rush the queen. I decide rush the queen, because, you know, queens are ridiculous on this board. Importing a pawn here gives me a little bit of protection, because otherwise I'm going to be sniped, and I decide to just run the pawn away. Alright, queen, check. But of course, you're not officially called check until you have completed your move on all boards. If you cannot make a move on a board, for whatever reason, you lose. Actually, or is it a draw? It might be normal draw rules. I haven't actually checked that, but I have a feeling that if, for whatever reason, you empty a board, yeah, very nearly let him have a queen, which would be bad. So I have the advantage here. It won't last. Tempted to run up another one, but decide it's probably better to just go and give myself a bit of attacking focus. I need another piece, really, to take any real advantage. I could also, what I'm concerned debating here is just making sure I have one of them, whichever way the pincer goes. I will have check on one of those two kings. And let's check. Oh no, I did win it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, checkmate. Well, that was chess, and I will see you before you see me lose this. Actually, no, we'll watch this one as well. God darn it. I recorded about 20 minutes of this, and I know I lost almost all of the last set of games I got. This board, by the way, I have no idea how to start this. Yeah, this is me trying to work out how the heck do I not just lose everything immediately here. 1 queen, 1 bishop, 2 rooks, 5 pawns. I've already made the losing move. But this is what we have time travel for, which just, you know, makes this even worse. I might even lose this game without... Yeah, because what do I do now? I'm at a disadvantage going first. This is weird as white. You're not supposed to have this kind of disadvantage. Just trying to work out what the heck I could even do other than the expected moves here, because I can't attack the queen because the knight's there. I can't attack the pawn because it'll just be whatever I attack it with will get taken by the queen. So I go for the king move, which or debate it, but then of course he's got time travel as well. Can't move it there because that is check, so I would lose. This is me genuinely stumped as to how this gets to this stage. So I go for the queen exchange. Queen exchange happens, but I'm now feeling absolutely destroyed here. I have to move the king because there's no other thing I can do here. And I'm just so far down at this stage. So far down. I can't even really do much here. So I go for the counterattack. His king runs away to another timeline. So now we have an interesting game where only I can lose. At least in terms of how that's going. And also now I have to deal with his advantage again. And yes, I now need to play on the board with the king missing. So I decide, alright, fine. I can't really do a lot, so we'll just keep attacking something. But again, my moves are limited. Thankfully, knight runs away. I consider doing the sort of trap here because now that pins the knight in place. But apparently I'm facing check, obviously, from the pawn. And I don't have a counter move at this point. And I'm low on pieces anyway on this board. Yeah, I'm losing horribly on both boards. And one of those doesn't have a king anymore. What I should probably have done here, if I'm thinking about this, is I should have moved my king to a different timeline. Or moved my king back to potentially do some damage on one of the earlier boards. Because I've got advantage if I can do anything on that upper timeline, but the lower timeline, I don't know. I felt I could gain advantage from that, but really with the king's not there, I shouldn't even be looking at it too much except for just what can attack me. And here's the problem I'm about to make, because if I move into the upper left, which is where I'm thinking about moving, obviously the knight from the other timeline can attack me, so I decide to reverse up, go for the attack. Pawn advances. So I can umpsant that, but I'd lose the piece. I can attack up and try to check again. I'm actually kind of tempted to move the pawn up, but that wouldn't actually give me any major benefit there. With this as well, I really have no moves that I like, because I now can't move the king anymore, particularly because I'm just going to be checked out. What I should probably do here is... I don't even know. Yeah, I go for the pawn attack, but I don't think this is going to work. So he moves out of check, which, again, they can do that. I lose a piece there. I can counter-attack the piece, but I'm still having problems. I think moving the pawn up here is the best play, because that gives me check on that board, which, admittingly, they can move out of. No, actually, no, they can take the rook, which is what I correctly realised. So I have to move the king up first to protect. Currently, the king can't move down, but this does mean that if that pawn upgrades to queen, I can at least move back and take things. And so he decides to move the rook out of this board, which means I am definitely losing the lower board now. The worst of all possible timelines is possibly happening here. This is a mistake. I should move the other pawn up, because I have the ability to go check. If I go check, I think I win that game. But instead, I have the feeling I should rush for another thing. Yeah, I'm just going to be double rooked in a couple of moments, so I decided to move down, and unfortunately, down comes a pawn as well. So, yeah, I'm facing almost nothing on this board, but I also failed to notice this. Yeah, that was an error. You'll see why in about 2 seconds. So I can take that pawn, but it doesn't give me any benefit. I can retreat. I can try and counterattack. I should really probably position that in the middle. But apparently that gives me checkmate anyway. I thought I was about to lose that, because I thought the knight would move round. Anyway, apparently I'm only halfway through this. Still, that is 5-dimensional chess. I've done an update. I will definitely play some more of this. I lose almost all the remaining games. Until then.